able to go forward. Thank you, Guy, for this very interesting discussion based on the notes that you largely contributed to. You were one of the main writers. We will make it available after the session online. So I really invite you all to go and have a look and react via email or in next specific meetings about that question in terms of promotion of agroecology and the different practices and the barriers we encounter. I see quite a few reactions in the chat. One is clearly a question. So Guy, Caroline says, what is the place for low-tech in the innovation in agroecology? Low-tech, if we talk about innovation, frugal innovation, so innovation without external resources or not much external resources, I'm talking about funds or entrance, yes, of course. Low-tech is part of frugal innovation or social innovation, and it's part of agroecology and should be promoted. But what we're talking about is that we need to adapt it locally in function of each context. We don't have, one key proposition that works for everybody. No, it needs to be adapted locally. And the point of my presentation was to say that high-tech innovation is not incompatible with agroecology, because it's subject of debate, because we kind of think agroecology equal low-tech, and we say no, yes, it includes low-tech, yes, but it can include high-tech as well, like digital tools that would allow us to develop exchanges of experiences between, or know-how between different farmers. The sharing about agroecology is something really important, and high-tech can really bring something to the table in this with this end. Thank you, Guy. I see that there are more comments. Jean-Pierre, in Congo, in Kinshasa, in terms of implication of communities within that this research program to promote agroecology, and he says something more specific on the reducing the use of pesticides and the use and the integration of pests. Would you have something to add? The implication of local communities and farmers in agroecological action is crucial. We cannot produce knowledge and develop production system without mobilizing those actors. It's true for questions of value and inclusion, but it's also true because there's no standard solution. In terms of agroecology, we need to find a solution that is adapted to each context. And it's only local actors that are able to really work on that context. So maybe one example, at the moment, we are defining and financing a project on R&D in agroecology, but it's the local producer organization that are piloting that project, and they're doing experimentation, analysis around agroecology, and it's them, those local organizations, that can bring local knowledge. There's no knowledge monopoly. We can have different actors that are able to do some research to bring new knowledge with methods that are adapted to their means, their capacities, and their objectives. Thank you, Guy. It's already 1 o'clock in Brussels, but I've been told that we have another 15 minutes. So we can debate a bit further. So if you've got in other questions or comments, I see it's really quite active at the moment already. Thomas Gloutier from Liberia, and comments about that question of intensifying the production in a sustainable way and integrated pest management and integrated crop management, so a more global approach. And there is also this question of the ability of small producers to ensure food security for local producers. So there are a lot of critics and linked to what has been mentioned this morning. Will agroecology be able to ensure food sustainability? Um, so do you have any further comments about that on this question of integrated pest management? The agroecology ecologic vision and nature-based solutions is that to deal with those pests, and there are more and more, really, it's really more and more present. We can't just say, oh, a new pest, a new product. That's for sure. That's for certain. We need an integrated management. And there are a lot of work in agroecology show that if we have a dynamic management of insect populations and other living organisms, we can regulate better the management of those pests. And for that, we need quite a lot of research in this area to identify solutions more easily that would allow us to have a management that is a bit more linked to the natural dynamic. You know, the question of animal welfare, plant welfare, and human welfare, all of those questions are going towards that goal, is that we should have interactions with all those worlds and have a management that is more in line with natural processes so that we can have positive interactions between microorganisms and living organisms, and therefore have a better management of those pests. And I think that calls for more research, because a lot of research was centered on identifying what chemical products or bioentrants could bring as a solution. And I think we need to have more flexible mechanism to deal with those pests. You know, at human, I mean, animal and plant level, but also human level. In the specialized system, the question of nutrition can be a lot higher. For instance, in Western Africa, we call it the paradox of Sikasso paradox. In Mali, the city in Mali, we have a system that is dedicated to maize and cotton, corn and cotton, and we have indicators of nutrition in rural area that are a lot lower than the ones we can observe in other areas that ecologically speaking are less favorable for nutrition, but the fact of having the reduction of biodiversity is impacting the nutrition. Also for social reason, the fact that women and children are in the fields, there are less attention to the nutrition of children, of having a more diversified cooking. And so we have an area that is, you know, people are earning more per head, but the nutrition is lower than in other area where people earn less money.